The newspapers are responding slowly to Rachel Reeves's spending review, and it's not a positive experience reading them. Uh, the what she read out, or her speech, the length is rivaled only by its list of uncosted ambitions. The 2025 spending review, delivered by Rachel Reeves, with all the solemnity of someone announcing the second coming, funded, I think, and so, for example, does a Telegraph, only deferred payments. It's been branded the Spend Now, Tax Later spending review, and one might just as well call it the Improvise Now, Apologise Later review, or even more aptly, Bake the Cake and Hope the Oven Works. Rachel Reeves has promised 29 billion per year for the NHS, but the one with the 7 million people on a waiting list and a fondness for declaring winter pressures in August. She added that this is what the British people voted for. True, but they also voted for 40 new hospitals, and we all remember how that went. And so she talked about building new schools. She didn't really talk about building new hospitals. Education will get 4.5 billion more, but inflation will quietly gobble half of that before a single school roof is patched. Defence spending will rise to 2.6% of GDP, though with a little Treasury prestidigitation, that figure now includes the intelligence agencies. You remember George Osborne's old trick? It's back with new props. Meanwhile, £39 billion is earmarked for social and affordable housing, unless, of course, someone remembers the planning system exists, in which case progress may pause indefinitely. Rachel Reeves assures us that this isn't austerity, but when half the departments get real term cuts and the Foreign Office sees its budget trimmed like a bonsai tree, one starts to suspect that semantics, not spending, is the true battleground. And then there's the winter fuel payment, the U-turn, and that now partially restored. That the restoration is very good, but it's not enough. Like a damaged fresco, leaving just enough bad will to please no one. She shaved 1.5 billion off the bill, only to restore most of it under pressure. And as political footwork goes, it's the fiscal equivalent of tripping over your own shoelaces, only to shout, "I meant to do that." Now, if you're wondering where all this money is coming from, don't worry. Everyone else is wondering as well. Reeves says she won't raise taxes, but council tax will climb 5% a year until 2030. That's not central taxation, that's local empowerment. And Reeves even managed to promise growth in every corner of the country. That's pretty impressive. And yet, how? By changing the rules. And the Treasury's Green Book, the Treasury's Green Book has been rewritten to support place-based funding, which sounds like it came from a sociology lecture at a polytechnic in 1973. In practice, it's an Excel spreadsheet with a sentimental map of Stoke. This is all securonomics, you see. Steelworks in Port Talbot, Sizewell C, trams, trains, nuclear dreams, and AI, of course, 2 billion to ensure Britain isn't outcoded by DeepSeek, the Chinese rival to ChatGPT, which incidentally cannot fix potholes or open a GP surgery. It's called ChatGPT. So presumably the GPs are simply drinking. But what's missing here is credibility. And Starmer seemed to pick that up. He was wincing just behind Rachel Reeves. I think he looked like he was sucking on a fisherman's friend or choking on one. Well, he may just have realised that that as we all have done now, this posturing doesn't really do the job. What's missing here is credibility. Reeves claims she won't have to repeat last year's tax rises even as borrowing climbs to 140 billion. Economists predict that she'll need another 23 billion to hold the line come autumn. This isn't a plan, it's a mood. And her fiscal rules, non-negotiable apparently. much like the laws of gravity until they become inconvenient. So what are we left with? A chancellor armed with ambition but little arithmetic, a government proclaiming renewal with a balance sheet built on wishful thinking and warmed over slogans. Reeves told us she's chosen investment over decline, yet the path she's chosen will require either taxes, cuts, or more likely another hasty U-turn disguised as maturity. As the great philosopher might have put it, if you can't have your fiscal cake, spend it and eat it, then ask someone else to pay for the ingredients later.